What if I told you that in less than a single year, a song not only broke records but redefined the very limits of what was thought possible on the world's biggest music platform? What if I told you that a man once hailed as one of the most dazzling performers of his generation, and a young woman rising from Asia to conquer the global stage, came together in a collaboration that no one saw coming, and yet everyone now remembers as destiny? The story of Bruno Mars and ROSÉ's APT is not just about a hit song. It is about timing, fate, and the power of music to unite billions of hearts. And tonight, you're going to discover why this one song has shaken the world. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, share this video with friends who live for music history, and leave a comment below with your thoughts, because what you're about to hear may change how you see Bruno Mars, ROSÉ, and the entire music industry. The name Bruno Mars has always carried weight. He is the man who brought us timeless songs, the man who stepped on stage and instantly commanded the room with his charisma, his voice, his energy. From Just the Way You Are, to Uptown Funk, to 24K Magic, Bruno Mars has always been more than a singer. He has been a storyteller, a showman, a legend who could blend funk, pop, soul, and R&B into something irresistible. For over a decade, he has been the kind of artist who doesn't chase trends, he creates them. Yet even legends face moments of silence. After the glitter and the lights, there were whispers. Was his time at the very top fading? Could Bruno Mars, after years of dazzling us, still ignite a fire that would spread across the world? And then came ROSÉ. For millions, she was already a star, one-fourth of Blackpink, the girl group that had taken the world by storm. Her voice, fragile yet strong, vulnerable yet unbreakable, carried a tone that could make you stop whatever you were doing and just listen. ROSÉ had already proven herself in stages packed with screaming fans, in solo songs that touched hearts, in performances that seemed to blend elegance with raw emotion. But there was something in her eyes, in her ambition, that hinted she was reaching for something more. Something beyond K-pop, beyond categories, beyond borders. No one could have predicted that these two worlds, Bruno Mars, the seasoned global superstar, and ROSÉ, the young icon of a new generation, would collide. But in a quiet studio, behind closed doors, that is exactly what happened. APT was born not with fireworks, but with late-night writing sessions, whispered melodies, and the courage to take a risk. It was a gamble. Nobody knew how audiences would react. Nobody knew whether their voices would fit, whether their energies would complement or clash. And yet, when they recorded together, something magical happened. Their voices, so different, found a harmony that felt inevitable, as if the universe had been waiting for this exact moment. When APT dropped in September 2024, the reaction was immediate. The video premiered on YouTube, and in the first hour, millions were already watching. The screen lit up with Bruno Mars' signature charisma, ROSÉ's ethereal presence, and a cinematic story that seemed to hide more than it revealed. The visuals weren't just beautiful, they were layered with mystery. Neon lights flickered like coded messages. Glances between Bruno Mars and ROSÉ felt like chapters of an unwritten story. Was this about love? About fame? About breaking free? Theories flooded social media. Fans dissected every frame, every lyric. TikTok was full of edits, breakdowns, interpretations. The song wasn't just being heard, it was being studied. The numbers skyrocketed. 1 million views. 10 million. 50 million. 100 million in just days. By the end of the first week, it wasn't just trending. It was dominating. APT wasn't just a hit song, it was an event. The kind of release that people remembered where they were when they first saw it. Critics were stunned, fans were obsessed, and even casual listeners couldn't escape it. It was everywhere, on the radio, on playlists, on TikTok dances, on Instagram stories. But here's the twist, APT wasn't just successful. It was historic. Reaching 1 billion views on YouTube is something only a handful of videos in history have ever done. But 2 billion? That's rarefied air. Only giants live there. Despacito. Shape of You, Girls Like You. Songs that defined eras, that transcended music to become global anthems. Yet all of those took years to climb that mountain. APT did it in 334 days. Less than 1 year. The fastest video ever by a leading female artist. The fastest by an Asian artist. The fourth fastest of all time. And the fastest video of the entire decade to hit 2 billion. Think about that. A collaboration that almost didn't happen now stands in the same league as the most iconic songs in YouTube history, and it got there faster than nearly all of them. So what was the secret? Why this song? Why now? Some will say it was timing, the perfect storm of Bruno Mars' global legacy and Rosé's unstoppable rise. Others will point to the song itself, a haunting melody that captured universal emotions. The longing, the vulnerability, the tension of feeling trapped in your own walls but desperate to break free. Bruno Mars brought his soul, his grit, his effortless swagger. Rose carried fragility, strength, and a voice that could haunt you long after the song ended. Together, they built a bridge between cultures, languages, and generations, and then there was the video. More than glossy images, it was a puzzle. Hidden symbols, fleeting moments, subtle metaphors. Some saw Bruno Mars' storyline as a reflection of his own struggles with fame. Others believed Rosé's scene symbolized her carving independence from the expectations of her industry. Maybe both interpretations were right. Maybe neither. But what mattered is that people kept coming back. Searching for answers. Rewatching again and again. And every time they did, the view count climbed. For Bruno Mars, APT wasn't just another hit. It was a statement. A reminder to anyone who doubted him that he was still here, still unstoppable, still capable of bending the world's attention to his will. It was not a comeback. It was proof that his crown had never slipped. For ROS, it was validation. She wasn't just a member of a global group. She was an artist in her own right, one whose name could stand alongside giants and not just survive, but dominate. The phenomenon spread like wildfire. Billboards in Times Square lit up with APT posters covered Seoul, Tokyo, Paris, Sao Paulo, and London. TikTok challenges inspired millions of fans to dance in their bedrooms, in city squares, in stadiums filled with light. Every platform, every corner of the internet, was buzzing with the song. When Bruno Mars and Rose finally performed it live together, the energy was electric. The world wasn't just watching, it was holding its breath. That performance wasn't just East meeting West. It was proof that music is borderless, that a song can unite cultures and generations in one shared moment. But here's something few know, APT almost never made it. The schedules were brutal. The negotiations complicated. At one point, it seemed the collaboration might collapse entirely. There were whispers that the song might even be handed to another artist. Imagine that. Imagine this record-breaking phenomenon without Bruno Mars' voice, without Rosé's haunting delivery. It's almost unthinkable. And yet, fate intervened. Against the odds, the song was recorded, released, and immortalized. Perhaps that's why it feels so rare, so precious, because it almost never existed. That if you felt that magic, if you lived through this historic moment, don't just scroll away. Subscribe to our channel for more stories that reveal the hidden truths behind the biggest moments in music. Like this video, share it with friends who love music as much as you do, and leave a comment below, because this isn't the end of the story. The numbers are still climbing. The legacy is still growing. And the question that now lingers in the air is simple: what will Bruno Mars and Rose do next? One thing is certain. The world will be watching.